Can you folks hear this okay?
Oh, yes.
Can you hear this?
Yes.
Okay. Well, welcome. I am not my campaign manager, Sam Goldstein. He was not able to be here this evening, so just for a couple minutes, I'm going to act like him and welcome you. I know it's kind of chilly out here. It's like a little bit damp, but I appreciate you guys coming out. And before I subject you to listening to me talk for any period of time, I would like to introduce you to a gentleman who has been not only a veteran himself, but very active in veterans issues and veterans affairs here in the state of Indiana, and also a gentleman who is very active in cannabis reform and bringing more agricultural, manufacturing, and retail jobs to the state of Indiana through the legalization and decriminalization of cannabis. My Lieutenant Governor running mate, Mr. Will Henry.
Thank you, Donald, and thank you all for being here this evening. My name is William Henry. I'm the Lieutenant Governor candidate for the Libertarian Party here in the state of Indiana. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I deployed twice, once to Afghanistan, once to Kuwait, and I served a lot of multiple state active duty, national active duty type of missions covering what our troops were doing on the ground and in these environments that they're in. So that's a lot of what I did. I learned about what people did for a living in the military. I learned a lot about the overall organizational structure of the military in that fashion too. Over the last 5-6 years, I've been working very closely with veterans issues here in the state of Indiana. And in that, I have successfully bound back together the veterans organizations known as the Big Four. That's the American Legion, the VFW, AMVETS, and DAV, to push veterans issues through the State House, working with legislators.
Wow.
So we passed a number of bills in just a very short period of time since 2015, binding those groups back together and focusing these issues and organizing in a fashion that was very effective to the State House and the state legislature.
That's awesome.
In doing that, of course, one of the issues that came up was cannabis. And cannabis was a huge issue for veterans, but I know it's a huge issue for all citizens here in the state of Indiana to have access to a safer medication or substance that does not kill. And a lot of the troops who are coming back, they've been prescribed opioid pain medications for a plethora of physical issues. They've been prescribed benzodiazepine medications, that's your Valiums and Xanax and that kind of stuff, for their PTSD and these other types of issues. Well, it turns out cannabis can treat both sides of things when it comes to that stuff. So the physical pain and the physical chronic issues can be solved with the phytocannabinoids, and also the mental anguish and the mental issues can be kind of soothed with cannabis access as well. And the best thing about that is cannabis does not kill. Mm-hmm. Cannabis doesn't kill. These medications that we are legally prescribing our veterans do kill. Opioids kill.
Yes, yes.
Benzodiazepines kill.
Yep.
Even over-the-counter medications kill.
Yep.
If someone takes Tylenol for a long period of time, that can damage their body and their organs. We don't make Tylenol illegal because of that. We know the ramifications of that, but yet it's still legal and it's over the counter. And anyone can go buy it, even a child. What about the children? What about the children? And when it comes to cannabis reform, children are not going to be harmed by cannabis because cannabis doesn't kill. The CDC has reported overdose deaths nationally. They're expecting them to rise at least 10 to 15% right now. They're estimating more than 75,000 people are going to die of opioid overdose deaths this year alone by the end of December. More than 75,000 Americans dying from illegal medication prescribed. And because someone is making money on that and it's through the legal route, that's okay and it's acceptable. But when it comes to cannabis, cannabis doesn't kill. And in that time, I also helped reveal some wrongdoing in the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs that was happening. Funds were being misused, mismanaged. They were overspending certain funds that they were given. This was federal funds, this was state funds, and this is your donated funds from your license plates. The In God We Trust license plates, the Army plates, the Marine plates, all the branch plates. A portion of that money goes into a fund. Well, they were allowing the employees to take more of that fund than they were supposed to. And these other folks out here around the state having real financial issues couldn't get more than that. They were giving special privilege to these people on the inside, and that's when I blew the whistle. I said the IG has to look into this. And what we uncovered was so much more. That first fund was just the smoke. The real fire was behind that, and we found it. And even though I had to lose my position at a state level for administration as in an organization because of that, I continued to ruck through, and I pushed through that, and I did the right thing, and we exposed the corruption, and we exposed the fraud, and we exposed all of the bad dealings that were happening inside of that agency. And that also opened a window into this administration as a whole. We could see that things weren't running right. Things weren't the way that they were supposed to be. So we definitely want to crush corruption and reform ethics laws here in the state of Indiana, along with improving our military and veterans programs. And as Lieutenant General or Lieutenant Governor of the state of Indiana, I would have the ability to work with the agribusiness and the agricultural development of the state. And that's where we would start to really push cannabis legalization forward. And that's where we would really start to make money as a state too, and these farmers could really take off with this. And we could not only provide the state with the medicine that it needs, but we could provide the states that surround us with the medicine that we need, providing us with more revenue, more jobs, more income. And we could develop that into an international sense, and we could be the first state to be exporting outside the United States in the next 5 years if we do this right. So these are the types of things I hope to accomplish, along with advocating and pushing for all of the issues that Donald wants to push. And I would work directly with the state Senate and the legislature to advocate on those issues so we lower our taxes and we reduce the government spending and fraud, waste, and abuse. The message of liberty that Donald has been delivering around the state is resonating with people for a reason. How many folks here watched the debate the other night? How many of you feel he spoke directly to you?
Yes.
And that's the biggest difference you'll see with these other guys. They've elevated themselves to a point, they're not on your level. They don't understand what's going on.
We the people.
Absolutely, we the people. They've elevated themselves. They're not in the reality zone that we're all in. They're not understanding what kind of struggles and strife all of this has brought us either. So we are getting that message across, and it's from individuals telling other individuals what's going on. And this message that we're spreading across the state, what Donald is going to tell you tonight is exactly what the state of Indiana needs. It's exactly the leadership we need to move forward together in unity.
Pay attention better.
Make history.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, you choose this
Or this.
This?
Yes.
Not this? This? Now, can we get a consent? What is this?
Do whatever makes you happy.
All right, we'll try this. The problem I have with this is it's like being on a leash.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've ever watched any of my videos that Stephanie does for Facebook Live, but I have a tendency to move around a lot. Which means either I'm nervous or I've had too much caffeine. And I'm not nervous. So, first of all, again, thank you so much for coming out here on a warm, dry, sunny morning. We appreciate, first of all, your support and your enthusiasm. And to be very honest with you, I am very humbled by the fact that people will come out on a day like this and support us and support the idea of limited government in the state of Indiana.
Yes.
Woo!
Now, see, when I exhale, I hear that. It's awful.
Put it down, man.
Put it down, she says. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right. Because I'm actually a lot more comfortable doing this than talking into that. Plus, if I get a little worked up, it won't sound as odd. If you've heard me speak at all, you know that I like to quote sections of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Founding Fathers, Reagan, Calvin Coolidge, because what I'm trying to do here in Indiana is bring back our constitutional republic.
Yes!
What we're talking about isn't new.
No.
It's actually very old. And the concepts have been lost. We talk about them. We do shirts with stuff printed about them. We put posters up. And then we let government trample all over our rights.
Ooh.
And it's time we made individual liberty and limited government practical again.
Yes. Yes.
You will hear people say, Rainwater can't do what he's talking about because if you cut taxes, how are you going to pay for stuff? Well, first of all, not all the stuff government does, government should be doing.
Say it again.
Agree with
Say it
that.
again.
I'm not talking about the essential services of government. I'm talking about the fraud, waste, abuse.
Yes.
I'm talking about the corporatism where they take money from you so that they can give a corporation a 10-year tax abatement. So the corporations don't pay taxes, but you do.
Yep.
See, I think it should be the other way around,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? You should get the tax break because you're the citizen.
Yes.
It's your money. And what we've got to remember is that it's not just our money, it's our government.
Yes, it is.
Jefferson said in the Declaration of Independence, to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
Yes.
Yes.
You and I are the governed.
Yes.
They get their power from us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, how many of you watched the debate last Tuesday?
Oh.
So if you saw the debate, you found out that Dr. Woody Myers, he doesn't care where the power came from, he just wants it, and he wants to use it to make you do what he says,
That's right.
and to punish you if you don't. He made that very clear,
Daddy Myers.
straight up. Governor Holcomb, he thinks that he gets his power from the infinite wisdom of the General Assembly.
Woo!
And evidently he thinks that that power that he gets from the General Assembly turns him into some superhero called Lockdown McGee.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
No.
The power of the government comes from you,
Yes.
Yep.
from your consent.
Yep.
And here's the thing. You're going to give your consent when you vote.
Yes.
But that's not the only time that you give your consent or that you have the right to take your consent back.
Tell us how.
You see, we have to hold government accountable 7 days a week,
That's right.
52 weeks out of the year,
Yep.
Right.
period.
Yep.
It's our government. They are supposed to be doing as we have consented to.
Right.
Yes.
Not what they want to do, not what they say we have to do. It's supposed to be the other way around. We have a General Assembly that is there to represent you.
Yeah.
And when anybody decides that they can by themselves go around the General Assembly and start mandating things like who's essential and who is not,
Ooh.
whose businesses provide the necessities of life and whose don't.
Oh.
That's wrong, because I'm going to tell you right now, every business in the state of Indiana provides the necessities of life to everybody who works there and gets a paycheck
Yes.
to pay their bills.
Right.
And only somebody who has arrogant disdain for the citizens of Indiana would say otherwise.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's wrong. It's flat out wrong.
It is wrong.
One person should never have the authority to decide who among 6.7 million people get to go to work and who doesn't.
Ooh, yeah.
Exactly.
One man should never decide when you can go to church and when you can't.
Yes.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Plain and simple. And when they say, well, but you don't understand, this is an emergency. There's nothing in the Constitution of the United States of America or the Constitution of the state of Indiana that says anybody has the right to take any of your unalienable rights away from you in an emergency.
Right.
And when they try to tell you they can, you should look at them and go, show me in writing.
Exactly.
Right.
And when they say, well, we have statutes, that the General Assembly, in their infinite wisdom. Oh, no. Because it says in the Indiana State Constitution that the General Assembly does not have the right to provide a privilege or a benefit to one citizen or group of citizens unless it's provided to all. Which means if you're essential, so are you.
Yes.
Yeah.
As defined by you, not them.
Not
Exactly.
them.
And this is the problem we have not just in the state of Indiana, but all through the United States of America today.
Yep. All the way to the top.
We somehow believe that a group of elites who are pulling money out of our pockets to give it to the people who put them in office
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
are more capable of ruling our own lives and making our own decisions than we are.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem, folks. If you get sick, is government going to deal with the consequences?
No.
No. Who is?
We are.
You are. If I lose my job and I can't pay my bills, is government going to pay my bills for me?
No.
Anybody have to file unemployment in the last 8-9 months? You want to talk about proof that government is out of sync,
That's right.
that they don't know what the heck they're doing?
Crazy.
Look at the Indiana unemployment insurance system.
Oh.
The governor put 1 million Hoosiers in unemployment since March 1st, knowing that the system couldn't handle it. But he didn't care,
Didn't care.
because that's not his problem. He's still got a paycheck.
He's got the governor's mansion.
That too.
That's going to be yours.
But not for long. But think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
See, government shouldn't make decisions in our lives because government doesn't have to deal with the consequences. We do.
That's right.
That's why only you can decide how to best protect you, your family, your children, your place of worship, your business. Only you can decide that, because you're the one that has to deal with the consequences.
That's right.
Right.
And when government says, oh no, see, you need to protect other people. No, that's their job.
Exactly.
You protect you, I protect me,
They protect them.
because we all have to be able to decide for ourselves
That's right.
how much risk we are able and willing to take.
Yes.
I can't decide for you, and you can't decide for me.
And that's why you got my vote.
Thank you, sir.
And mine.
But it's important that we understand this, because they say, oh, it's about public health today, right? I
Public
smoked for 30 years. Any smokers or ex-smokers in the crowd? Now, you tell me something. If they really cared about public health, would we still be able to buy cigarettes? No. But it's not about public health, that's about profits.
Yes.
Make no mistake. Did you know that in April and May of 2020, Indiana has had 112 more drug overdose deaths than in April and May of 2019.
Wow.
112 more.
Woo.
That is a public health issue.
Yes, it is.
Are they fixing that?
No.
Do you hear about those numbers? No. Did you know that we are on pace to have over 2,000 drug overdose deaths in the state of Indiana this year?
Ooh.
We could very possibly have more drug overdose deaths in Indiana than deaths from COVID-19 by people who don't live in nursing homes. Notice I took that out.
58%.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, you go right ahead. I'm not going to stop. As a matter of fact, after I get elected, we're going to try to get the General Assembly to decriminalize that, legalize it, so you don't have to ask.
Yeah.
Bring it up for the rest of them.
Don't have to ask now.
But think about that, folks. We could have more people die from overdoses then from COVID-19, taking away the nursing home.
Right.
Yes.
But they're not talking about that.
No.
Every day in the paper, how many new cases, how many deaths. Have they ever put in the paper how many people have died from suicide since March 1st because
No.
they were told that they couldn't work their job, couldn't pay their bills, and had to stay in their home?
Nope.
How about how many people have had to go to the emergency room?
They're coming to get you now.
Probably
Speaking of
right
which,
now. Probably an OD now. Probably.
do they publish the number of people that
I'm trying to give a speech here.
How many of you remember Dr. Demento? You remember Dr. Demento? A couple of you. They're coming to take me away. Here's the bottom line. They don't put in the paper how many people were taken to the hospital because of domestic abuse.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Think about that.
Yeah.
There are long-term, serious consequences to lockdowns.
Yes.
Yeah.
But evidently, government has decided that that's just a risk those people will have to take.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's right. You're
Right.
absolutely right. And the thing is, here again, let's make sure everybody understands one very important thing. I believe COVID-19 is real. I believe that it is a serious health risk to people in certain demographics. And I know that I have an uncle who had Parkinson's disease and passed away from a combination of Parkinson's and COVID-19 about 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So I know it's real,
Yeah.
and I know it's dangerous. But I also know that here again, I cannot protect you from it.
That's right.
And if I stood up here and said that I could, I would either be a liar or a fool.
Right.
Only you can protect you.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter if I wrap you in a plastic bubble and put you in a Flaming Lips concert. It is not my responsibility to protect you. It's yours.
Yours.
Exactly.
Now, I
Yep.
tell people all the time, liberty is hard.
Yes.
Freedom
It's tough.
is not easy.
No.
You have to make hard choices when you want to be free.
Yes.
How much risk am I willing to take? How much responsibility am I willing to shoulder for my own life and my own choices? What consequences am I willing to live with in order to be free? I hope I don't insult or upset anybody when I say this, but I believe that when they said that we are endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, that means that God gave us free will.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you believe that God gave you free will, I have one question. Who is government to take it away from you?
Exactly.
Ah.
That's
And
right.
that's what you have to figure out.
That's right.
Am I willing to subjugate myself to someone who doesn't have the right to take my free will away from me?
That's right.
Exactly.
And that's the decision that you have to make between now and November 3rd.
Yep.
What kind of society do I want to live in? Do I want to live in a society where somebody else tells me where I can go, when I can go there, what I can do there, how I must be dressed when I go there? Now here again, make no mistake, I believe that if a business owner says no shirt, no shoes, no service, if I'm not wearing a shirt, which nobody wants to see by the way, but if I'm not wearing a shirt, I don't go in that business.
That's right. That's right.
That business owner has the right to set their rules.
They do.
If I don't like them, I go somewhere else.
Right.
Yes.
And if a business owner wants to set rules that nobody likes, they won't be a business owner for very long.
That's right.
Amen.
That's what the free market is all about. And that's what free will is all about. See, I don't have to go to Walmart if I don't want to. Well, unless my wife says I have to. But I don't have to,
Feel the year will do a difference.
Menards, before the statewide mask mandate,
Oh,
Menards said you got to wear a mask. Lowe's said you didn't.
go to Lowe's.
A lot
right.
of people were going to Lowe's,
Yeah.
but a lot of people went to Menards too, because that's where they felt safe, and that's okay. Because that's personal responsibility,
Yes, it
and that's
is.
personal decisions,
Yeah.
and that's
Yep.
that's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
See, if I want to wear a mask, I wear a mask. If I don't want to wear a mask, I don't wear a mask.
Right.
It's my choice.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
And if you don't want to be exposed to whatever I might have, then you are most definitely welcome to stay as far away from me as you want.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's your
Yes.
choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But when somebody tells you, oh no, see, you got to wear a mask because he wants you to.
Oh,
Not his choice to make you wear a mask or your choice to make him wear a mask.
that's right.
Right?
Right.
It's
Right.
every individual's choice. This is how society, in a free society, in a liberty society, determines what is best,
Yes.
because people do what works for them. And when somebody does something that doesn't work for anybody, well, they're on their own, they're by themselves.
That's right.
Right? You got a business that says you got to wear a pig on your head when you come in here. And nobody wants to wear a pig on their head. Nobody's going to go in that business.
That's right.
And that's how the guy goes, oh, that's a bad idea.
Right.
Right? But when government gets involved, folks, it's always a bad idea.
Sometimes
The only
I'll
thing
wear a
government
long
is
enough
good at
Walmart,
is
put it
taking
long
your
enough to keep out the
money
front door, then take it off.
and screwing things up.
Or I wear it down here on my chin, which I still have even Walmart.
They've screwed up education. They've screwed up health care
Yep.
and health care coverage. And by the way, if you're not aware of this, I'm sure you are, but think about this for a minute. They want to talk to you about health care coverage like it was health care.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's
It's
two
not.
different things. Two totally separate things.
Yep.
Health care is the delivery of services that you get from a healthcare professional.
Yeah.
Healthcare coverage is how you figure out how to pay for it.
Yep.
And you know, there was a time in this country when you could go to the doctor and the doctor was a doctor. Mm-hmm. And you might be a chicken farmer. Mm-hmm. So when you went to the doctor, you paid the doctor for his services with a dozen eggs.
That's right.
There was no deductible. There was no copay. It was just a dozen eggs.
That's right.
Or a gallon of milk if you were a dairy farmer. Right? If you were a blacksmith, you shoed the horses of the doctor. Right? There was a day when the transaction between you and the doctor was between you
And the
the
doctor.
and the doctor.
That's right.
Not anymore. Oh no, we got to get the government involved. There's got to be CMS and all this. Folks, we have got to deregulate
That's
health
right.
care.
Yes.
Health care coverage in the United States of America, in the state of
Yeah.
Indiana. We need to have innovative solutions that will bring costs down. See, when government gets involved in anything, the cost goes up. How many of you remember before you had to buy car insurance in the state of Indiana?
Oh, yeah.
You remember when you could go without car insurance and the prices were lower,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Oh, but there's a lot of risk. Yeah, that's your risk. You decide how you handle it. Right? Another example, the seatbelt law.
Don't
If
wear
I
that
don't want to
either.
wear a seatbelt and I go flying through the windshield,
Because I choose
who has to
that.
deal with the consequences of that? I do.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, the insurance company says, no, we do. Well, tough. then don't insure me.
Right.
Somebody will, because if we deregulate insurance, somebody will insure me. Now, I may have to pay through the nose because I refuse to wear a seatbelt. That's the choice I make.
That's right.
So these are the types of things that we have to start remembering and understanding and realizing it's not government's place to secure these rights.
That's right.
Governments are instituted among men.
Yep.
Not to make your insurance go up or down, not to make sure that everybody has the same coverages. Whoops.
To make us safe.
Speaking of coverages. Government's job is to secure our rights. And then it's our job to cover our own asses.
Yes!
Does that make sense?
Yes!
So you've got a decision to make. Do you want a governor who believes that we should have a medical police state where he's going to make you wear a mask, and if you don't, he's going to criminally punish you for it?
No! No!
Do you want a governor who believes that the General Assembly has anointed him as Lockdown McGee? And not only has he done it before, but he's open to do it again if somebody tells him to?
No,
Or do you
no!
want a governor who believes that your individual rights and your free will are the things that make this the country that we live in today, and that you will be responsible for you, and that government will protect your
Right.
rights?
Yes!
That's the decision
Yes!
Yes.
you have to make.
Woo! I'm grown up
I'm
to
going to
make my own
leave you
choice.
That's right.
with one very important
Spit a little bit.
phrase. And this is something that I have said for years, and people who know me really well are so sick of hearing that they can't hardly stand it. But I believe that every decision we make is based in one simple fact. Folks, if we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting what we're getting.
Yep.
It's time to do something different if you want something different. And folks, my name's Don Rainwater. I'm the Libertarian candidate for governor here in the state of Indiana, and I am something different. So, yeah, no, I'll do it. I'll do it. You're all right. You've done enough. All right. So they tell me that as a candidate, I have two jobs. The first one is to talk to voters. I just did that. The second one is to ask for money. I'm about to do that. Because if you've noticed, if you've asked, the yard signs, if you want one, take one. Okay?
Yep.
If you want a t-shirt, we ask for a $20 donation for a t-shirt. It costs a lot of money to go up against Goliath, folks.
Yeah.
A lot of money. They've got millions of dollars that they're spending that they didn't think they'd have to spend, but they're spending it now.
Somebody's nervous.
But we've got
Better
about
be.
8 days, and we need to put more TV ads on, more radio ads on. So if you've got cash, raise your hand, Stephanie. That's Stephanie Dosbach. She's my event coordinator, and she's the campaign manager when he's not here, and he ain't here. She will be more than happy to take cash or check as long as it doesn't bounce. She's not much of a dribbler, I don't think.
I played basketball for 8 years.
Okay, well, then if it bounces, she'll still take it, I guess. Cash or check. If you want to make a donation online, you can go to our website at rainwaterforindiana.com/donation. or donate, pardon me, donate, like donut, only different. I should have remembered that. But we would appreciate your donation. Now, are we doing the same thing with this? That we bring me the pen. So here's what we're going to do. They came up with this idea here about a week ago, and it's been pretty popular so far. I'm going to sign both sides of this big 4x8 sign, and we're going to auction it off here to the highest bidder. So let me sign it first, because I can't talk and write at the same time. But don't tell anybody.
It's by age, right? You can't have sign that. They can't stop you from having no signs.
Now, Sam says the sign costs $50, right? $50. So,
$100.
$100. Where's the $100? Yeah. I got $100 right here. Do I have $125? $125. $100 going once?
You take credit cards?
Yes,
Yeah.
150.
150. I got 150. Do I hear one? 160.
200.
$200. All right. $300. $300. 325. 320. 310. 399 cents. 300 going once. 300 going twice. $300. Thank you, sir. So, folks, if you'd like to donate, Stephanie will definitely lighten your load. And, you know, my campaign manager always says, give till it hurts. And I've turned that on its side a little bit. I would like you to give until it feels really, really good on November 4th.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.